Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's episode 108 of the Paddle Talk podcast. Great to have you along as always. We got some great stuff coming up tonight. We have results from the Keys Peak Snow Hill climb. Damian Bowers was on site and ready to report. We have the announcement of the official East versus West teams coming up from Dome Valley here at the East Meets West race. So that should be pretty good. Team captains Joseph Weaver and John Sorg on with us tonight. We also have Dave Applegate making an appearance from an unknown location, along with Mr. Greg Loflin, Mr. RPM himself, joining us. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on, and let's dive right in. None of this is possible without our sponsors and bringing you the Paddle Talk podcast, just like every Paddle Talk podcast, is our friends at Racing in the Dirt from Cleveland, Wisconsin. With over 40 years of racing experience, they're going to help you and your race program with all kinds of stuff, from turnkey cars to rolling chassis to components such as tires, wheels, brake kits, wheelie bars. They do on-site welding and fabrication. So if you're both at a race and you need a quick fix, Scott and Shane and the crew can help you out and get that done as well. They're here to help you and your race program for the 2026 season. So give them a call today, area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or you can find them on Facebook, or you can find them the old-fashioned way, so to speak, on the web at racinginthedirt.com. They UPS all of their parts, so no matter what part of the country you're in, they can get parts to you quickly and efficiently. That's Racing in the Dirt.
We also want to thank Silverback Off-Road Speedway. This is a premier sand drag facility, short course tracks, and hill climb located in Mears, Michigan at 7186 West Deer Road. They are going to be kicking off their season for the 2026 racing schedule with some short course racing May 1st and 2nd. They've got an expanded schedule for their short course offering this year. So stay tuned. Check out their social for that 2026 schedule. First sand drag race is going to be May 22nd and 23rd. So make sure you guys are prepping for those races, and you guys can check them out at silverbackspeedway.com or give them a call at area code 231-629-6379. That's 231-629-6379 at silverbackspeedway.com, or find them on Facebook.
And if you're up there for a race weekend anyway, and you want to check out these Silver Lake sand dunes, look no further than Silverback Off-Road Rentals. Located right near the entrance to the dunes, they can put you behind the steering wheel of a premium off-road vehicle. Whether it's an all-day trip or just a sunset cruise, Silverback Off-Road Rentals has you covered. They're open April through October, so call today and get with them and get your reservation in there. That's Silverback Off-Road Rentals, and you can find them on Facebook.
And last but not least, we want to thank 31 Go Life. That's the number 3 ONEGO-Life on YouTube. From trucking, truck repair, racing on, and some working on some top alcohol sand drag cars, you can follow along with Doug Vinlett and all of his crew as they go through and show you all of the life of trucking and sand drag racing. And we're going to be seeing them here on the West Coast soon. So definitely going to probably be a few extra episodes there on 31 Go Life on YouTube for that haul over to the West Coast. So make sure you guys are following along and subscribe to their channel. They also have the Dirt Podcast, which we just saw recently. Isaac DeHaan as a guest on there. So make sure you guys are following along. They get to some nitty gritty on the sport of sand drags, a little bit of bench racing and shop talk on that program as well. So check them out once again on YouTube at 31 Go Life.
All right, so let's dive right in, folks. Damian Bowers made the trip all the way to Florence, middle of nowhere, Wisconsin.
Key is middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's not on the edge. It's in the middle, isn't it?
It's in the middle of the two lakes. It's in the middle of the state line, and it's right there next to Michigan.
Now, last year when I was there, I almost had to take a snowmobile or a sled dog the last couple of miles to get there. Did you make it there with the rental car?
Oh yeah, roads were clear all the way to the track. Did have a
Nice.
few herds of deer I had to contend with, but
Well, there's the wildlife to contend with. That's true, and we're not talking the kind that's actually at the track, even. So
there was some at the track as well. We had a dog run out on the track after a few runs, and someone up in a tree.
nice. Did you see the guy with the full coyote pelt that the head's like on top of his head? It goes all the way down his back with the tail and everything.
I didn't see the coyote pelt, but I seen a woman with a fox on her head.
Yep, yep. They're probably. I have a feeling they're probably related. So, you got there Friday.
Yep.
Got to check out the pits and everything else. It's
No,
pretty
I didn't
impressive,
get there
isn't it?
till late Friday, so I did
Yeah,
get to check out the pits on Saturday morning, though I got there when registration was opening up, so got to walk
nice.
around, check out some of the vehicles, some neater ones that showed up that did not make the results list. Adam Thom with his brand new Racing in the Dirt Colorado single cab with a
Ooh,
blown big block Chevy, single speed with a slipper clutch in it.
whoa.
That was probably one of the fastest cars up the hill all weekend, right there with Kerr. And it, unfortunately, at the end of the not at the end of the first class, locked the clutch up in it.
Oh no.
So even in 14-degree weather in snow, you can get a clutch pretty damn hot.
Wow. That's heartbreaking but impressive all at the same time. So give us some of the hitters that we know that probably were there.
Well, obviously you had Ray Mills. He had Jake Viverberg driving his truck in the F class. We'll get to that a little bit later as we get into the results. Um, Brendan Willis with the old apple tree buggy, top dog buggy that with the little LS that could. That thing was a strong runner, lightweight, always works. Obviously, Ryan Kerr with the Swamp Donkey. Jason Vanderwall had his new pickup truck out running in just about every class they'd let him in, from Class A down to Class F.
Now which truck is that?
It is a gray Chevy C10 with a 540 and two kits of nitrous.
Whoa.
Street
Okay.
truck. He could have drove it home, but he said didn't want to get it too salty.
Wow. Now that's not that really light gray one.
That's it.
Okay. So
Vanderwall's new street truck.
now is that Randy Heima's old truck?
I do not know the history on it, but I believe it was a friend of his before he got it.
So if it's the same truck, I believe it acquired the nickname Shinedown at some point in time. So,
Okay.
but yes, very very gray and black. If it's the truck I'm thinking of,
Yes.
yes. All right, very good. Michael McCord was on site with his new hot rod.
Yeah, unfortunately, out first round, even though he would have gotten the win over Viverberg, he thought he pushed the intake gaskets out, actually pushed a seal out of the oil filter. First pass. It didn't shift on him, so still dealing with some issues with the transmission, but mostly it was just on the rev limiter so bad from the hit that he couldn't get it to shift.
Sure, sure, understandable. Okay, well let's dive right in. I believe first we've got a big power adder class, correct?
Well, I'll start from the slowest and work my way down to
That
that.
works too.
And
Whatever is easy for you, boss.
I will go ahead and start with a Class G, which is open diesel. So anything goes as long as it's a diesel.
Those trucks are
Corey,
pretty fun to watch.
oh yeah, and lots of pulling trucks in that class. Um, the winner was Corey Lauer with a
Again,
silver Dodge Ram with 4-link front and rear, which
yes.
technically is factory suspension, even if he's got a drag 4-link in the rear.
Yep.
Second, Jimmy Ritz, the sponsor of the class, with his 7.3 powered short box Ford pickup. And third was Ron Kazubaski. I'm just going to call him Ron K, but I believe he owned one. He's the one who owned a very cool black 350 crew cab with a step side bed and a 6.0 power stroke in it.
Nice. I like it. Okay, here's my question. Did you get any pictures of Corey Lauer when he accepted his trophy?
No, I did not.
All right, because we're going to insert one right here. I will make sure Caleb Binks has it from last year. And Mr. Lauer apparently was needing a nap because he's got his eyes closed. So,
After a day like that, I can believe it.
absolutely. You're not kidding.
Then we move on to straight stock, one of the more highly contested classes. First place, Jason Vanderwall. So that gray step side, turn the nitrous off, put the DOTs on it, and put in work. Second place, Bruce Slaw or Slag. I'm
Blah.
not sure. And third, usually one of the top contenders for the class, and a little bit of controversy because when Vanderwall put him out to put him into the race for third, he came down the hill at full speed, sat behind Jason on the rev limiter for a bit, and then dumped the clutch and went around the turnaround to go back up to the starting line, roosting Vanderwall's truck.
Oh. Oh. Well then.
Yeah. He wasn't killed, though there was a group of people that were ready to go to his trailer. He was loaded up and already probably heading towards the door when he got back to the trailer, though. He did get third, Bobby Clemmo. That purple stick shift, small block Ford, F
I
150.
was I was gonna say that's gotta be the truck because I remember that thing from last year too, and I could
And
not believe
it's a badass truck.
it is. It totally is.
But then we move on to Class B Super Stock. Jordan Robinson getting the win there. Nash Weigert getting second. And Colton Doherty getting third. And I'm trying to remember all the class rules here, but without them in front of me, it's kind of hard to remember some of them.
Fair enough.
Class C, so we're into open street. So anything goes as long as you showed up with plates, insurance, and it looks streetable.
Yes.
Care to guess who won that one?
Jason Vanderwall?
Jason Vanderwall.
Yes.
And then
Now,
Nick. Okay.
did I see now my eyes could have betrayed me here. Did I see Brendan Whitgen entered in that class?
In his Jeep Rubicon.
Okay, that's what I thought because I'm like, if the four-play Jeep makes it into that class, a lot of eyes are going to go up very quickly.
Yeah, that was yeah, he ran his white Jeep Rubicon with cuts front and rear off of his old square body in that class
Okay,
with a big old Hemi motor in it. But second place, Nick DeBoer's little white Jeep CJ, and third was Ross Crone.
ooh, dude, that is that a twin turbo or a single turbo LS in that square body?
Twin turbo, I believe. I could
Twin
be
turbo.
wrong.
I,
I'd have to
I
look
think you're
under the
right.
hood again.
So that's cool, man. Those and I tell you what, I those are all very streetable trucks. That's really cool.
Now we move on to Class D mod class, the naturally aspirated but any tire class. First place on cuts, no less, Matt St. John.
And I believe that's a double up from last year for him in that class. If not, he went to the final last year. Might have been Cam Boyd. I'd have to go back and look.
Okay. Second place was Dustin Nielsen. I'd have to go through and dig through my videos and pictures to remember exactly which rig that was off the top of my head. But then in third place, the person a lot of people really thought was going to get there, unfortunately, lost in the third round on a red light to go into the third place race, Brendan Whitkin.
Ah,
Yep, got a little antsy on the jump against Matt St. John and was out.
and I tell you what, Matthew St. John's, Colorado, that truck is not to be taken lightly, though. That
Oh,
thing
yeah.
thunders.
Something I really noticed is unless you're driving with a lot of rear weight bias on a vehicle, sort of like Kerr's Swamp Donkey and the like, if you've got a lot of weight bias on the front, might as well run a big tire on the front. And that seems to work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Then we move on to Supermod, the cut tire class. Anything goes, DOT tire. Another neat vehicle that showed up for this class, going to be going down to Daryl Jones was a truck called Relentless, which when the pictures and videos come up, if you're a fan of Hill and Hole and mega trucks from the mid 2000s to the mid 2010s, you'll recognize it as Devil's Reject, formerly one of the fastest mega trucks in the country. And I believe at one time was the fastest Hill and Hole mud truck as well.
Oh,
Unfortunately, on this hill, wasn't able to quite get any traction out of the first 60 feet, but just about everybody was having issues. Again, the right lane turned to a sheet of ice pretty dang quick. So in third place, you had Nash Weiger. Second place, again, Otis Sizemore in the Swamp Donkey. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride in that class, it seems. But Otis is going to get it figured out one of these days and get it down. He had Matt St. John in the finals. Otis ended up in that right lane. And as soon as he let go of the button, it just started drifting to the right, barely
sure.
moving. So Matt St. John doubling up in the NA and nitrous classes on cut tires with no nitrous. Then we moved to Pro Mod, the class everyone wants to see, the craziest passes, the wild rides. First place, he's been trying to do it for years. He's finally done it. Ryan Kerr in the Swamp Donkey. Second place, you had Brendan Willis in the Apple Tree Buggy, the top dog. He was able to sneak on through with the right lane choice and the right track and a lot of good driving. He worked his ass off, get that thing moving, because two-wheel drive on ice is a tricky prospect.
Absolutely.
And then, as you can see, this was from the final round. He didn't quite get it moving so well in the finals against Kerr. Kerr had that hill figured out on them bigger diggers. And in third place, you had Kyle Shambaugh in his new Ford Ranger, an old pro stock mud truck that he put together, had some staggered diggers and a big old Ford motor, I believe.
Yep.
Now, best of show, not exactly how you want to earn it. Jake Viverberg in the second round against Nick DeBoer, driving Panic Rev 2.0, got sideways about three-quarters way up the hill, went to correct it, and when he pulled the steering wheel down, his hand got caught between his knees and pushed his foot back in the throttle, pointing at the trees.
Oh no.
He pushed the left front, and I have some pictures. We can put them in this video. We can post them up. I have talked to Ray Mills and Viverberg about that. They're happy to see them posted up. It shoved the left front tire up almost under the driver's door. The engine is sitting in the chassis crooked.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Viverberg walked away, no injuries. They were able to get the hill cleaned up pretty quick and back to action fairly soon.
Wow. That's a bummer, man. Man, Ray has had some tough luck with that thing.
Oh, definitely. And it's he puts that thing on the edge every time he has it out. He takes it down some of the roughest tracks you've ever seen. I can't wait though. Todd Willingham is working on a new truck for him, so we'll see that out before too long.
Yeah, Todd's had that thing going for a little bit now, but that's good that it's going. So they're gonna need it. So all right,
Definitely.
so we're gonna wrap it up with this best pairing of the weekend.
Ooh, there were so many good ones. One of my favorites was I'd have to go with Kerr in Vanderwall's old truck versus Vanderwall in Vanderwall's new truck,
Ah,
which Vanderwall got the better of Kerr on that one. Kerr had the nitrous hooked up on the button for that pass, and just couldn't quite keep his hand on the nitrous button, fighting it up the hill, and that allowed Vanderwall to stay out in front of him.
it feels like when it comes to snow hill climb, nitrous pretty much rules the roost there, only because nitrous can be in and out at the right time. Whereas, like last year with Benson's Jeep and it just annihilated the tires every pass, the power's there all the time, and you couldn't pull enough out to get
I
it
would
to go
I
A to
would
B.
tend to agree. Though Kerr's honestly made the fastest pass of the day. Right there on his tail was Adam Thom, though. they had that clutch set up so loose. It took 3,500, 4,000 RPM to get it to stage.
Sure.
So once he winged the throttle, the tires took a minute to get turning, but by the time they locked the clutch up, it was already gone.
Fantastic. All right. I'm sure you have some sponsors as people you want to thank for your trip up there as well.
The 101 Bar and Grill, Northern Lights, Radion Mills, Nicolette Lodge, wonderful lodge there. Wasn't expecting a kitchenette in the rooms there. That is a really nice place if you're ever up in Florence, Wisconsin, and needing a place to stay.
Fantastic. And hey, shout out to our buddy Casey Lawyer. I heard he was on stage at the 101 all weekend long. So great to have him along as well. So, all
Yeah,
right.
unfortunately, I missed his song that he wrote for the race.
Oh,
Maybe we'll see him out there next year with his truck. That'll be something to see.
he comes to sing almost every year. I have yet to see his truck show up, though. So,
Here
you
it is,
know.
Casey, putting the challenge out. I want to see your truck on the hill next year.
Oh, all right. Here we go. All right. Duly noted. All right, folks. So that is going to wrap up our coverage from the Keys Peak 2026 Snow Hill Climb. All right, everybody. On to our next segment in Paddle Talk, episode 108. We've got Greg Loflin, Mr. RPM himself, joining us this evening. He is a big sponsor for Dave Applegate's Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series. And great to have Greg along. Greg, welcome to the podcast. And let's hear a little bit about you. What do you do? What is Mr. RPM all about?
Well, we make high performance Can-Am ATV engine parts.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Did you say Can-Am ATV engine parts?
Yes.
You know, as a guy that just recently purchased a Can-Am, maybe this is really applicable.
What kind of Can-Am did you buy?
I bought an Outlander XT 500.
What year?
I think it's a 16.
Oh yeah. This motor here is what you have.
Oh,
Yeah, of course. This one's a billet motor. That's my display model that I have, and it's just a V twin, and they made the V twins from 500 to almost 1,000 cc's. So you can go anywhere in between there and do whatever you want to that engine. It's the same engine family. It's kind of like a small block Chevrolet. You can get the motors look the same from a 283 or a whatever to a 400.
sure.
Kind of the same thing,
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Moving on. So what do you guys do all Can-Am stuff, specifically Can-Am? Did you start out specifically going towards Can-Am, or it just kind of happened that way?
Well, I'm a asphalt drag racer from a way back, and always made a lot of my own parts, and Ford man to start with, and a lot of stuff they didn't make, so I had to make my own stuff, and bought a Can-Am and drag raced a little bit around here, and need to make it faster, so started making parts. And there's a few people made parts, mostly nobody, so made my own parts and went to drag racing some, and of course, started selling some. And more power we made, the more stronger parts we need to make. Then the mud racers, Can-Ams is real popular with the mud racers, so they always need more power in the mud, and started selling to them, cams, big bore kits, intakes, same as you do for a V8 American motor. It ain't a whole lot of difference. It's just an odd fire 2-cylinder. It's similar to a Harley, except it's an 80-degree V, and where a Harley's a 45, and American V8s are 90-degree for the most part.
Gotcha.
But that's kind of how we got going. And we have the shop here. We have a machine shop to start with, and our main thing is we design, manufacture, and market our own product. Do a little bit of contract manufacturing of skid steer loader attachments, buckets, grapples, mowers, trencher, all kinds of stuff for skid steer loaders. That's our main thing. And then times gets like most businesses, you get busier and slower, and so we use the slower times to fill in production with our Can-Am parts. amongst other things. We have another business called TKM Performance, which is a high performance drag racing car engine company that we do, and they pretty much just doing Cody's, Hemis, LS, old Hemi, new Hemi, stuff like that. Turbos, blowers, some nitrous machines, aftermarket ECUs predominantly. Although they're getting into a few of the old school mechanical injection Hemis here lately, blower and turbo and stuff nowadays. But
man, you got your fingers in all kinds of cool stuff. I love it. So, all right, I'll let Dave take it from here, and Dave can kind of introduce how you got involved with his series and that sort of thing.
So I'm trying to remember, and Greg might remember how we first met. I mean, obviously, I've always heard the name Mr. RPM Cycle since I don't know when, but never know him. And I'm wanting to think that we met at Roxborough.
I think it was well, maybe, but I was thinking was it Indian Mountain down in was it Georgia? Ain't that the name of that place, Indian Mountain? Remember it was
Did you go there? That's in Alabama. Did you go to that one?
Yeah, I went to one of them down there. It was really they got the track really nice, and it poured rain, just a muddy mess when we got there. It was knee deep of pure mud. And then it finally came around. It was cold that evening too when we raced. Remember, it was like 2:00 in the morning, 20 degrees when we finally made the final pass.
Yeesh.
That wasn't it Indian Mountain or Indian River or something? Indian Mountain, ain't it?
Indian Mountain's up top of Alabama.
But it's right on the line.
Yeah, it is. That's probably what it was. Yeah. Yeah, that was Travis Bernie's race.
Yeah, it was Bernie's race.
Yeah, it's Indian Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how we met. And then we got to know each other, then started racing more. Then one day Greg come up to me. We was I don't remember if he called me or came up to me. We was there at Roxborough. No, not Roxborough. Lumber River. And he's like, hey man, he goes, you want to put a race together? And I'm like, sure. And that's where it started, and that's been 4 years ago now. So that was
Has it
I
been that
know it was
long?
4 years.
That's,
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
I guess that's right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Greg does a lot with Greg's another reason why myself and Caleb got together with getting the ATV 4x4 ATV records in place. That's only been 1 year. So that's new and that's coming around. There's plenty of guys out there. I know Greg, you had a lot to do with the guy that held the record for a while. And that was Adolfo Rodriguez, which I think does he still hold it?
Yeah. Oh
no,
yeah.
I think or did Casey Smith take it? I think Casey Smith might have took it.
Oh, the record. Yeah. I think Casey
I think Casey took it. Yeah.
I'll double check for you guys here.
Yeah. But Greg's me and Isaac, we're both in heavy equipment, if you will, and Greg's into that. And that's something about, dirt drags. If you go to these, a lot of people are in construction of some type. You know what I mean? Some way. So it's kind of neat. It works out for Greg because I know I've heard him talk to people at the racetrack about his other business. So, and then the TKM, they're pretty popular, man. You see them a lot, on these, at these drag strips, blacktop. They're pretty popular. I like to see them getting into the dirt a little bit.
Yeah, I would too.
But
yeah,
but Greg, you make multiple things. I know I've got some parts. Well, I sold my side by side, but it's still here right now. But there's quite a few parts on my car that came from you. Filler necks for the fuel. Well, it's not called a filler net. What is that on top of the fuel tank? That aluminum.
Well, it holds the
pump and all that stuff. I can't think of the name of it. But he's got that. That's for the X3s. He's got the transmission cover for the X3. He's got. Well, you make valve covers for the 1200s too, don't you?
For the for the 1200 we make a billet valve cover, billet water pump cover, billet thermostat housing, because it's all that stuff's plastic from the factory. It's either warping or melting or something all the time, and racers need stuff that ain't plastic generally. You know, there's nothing wrong with plastic, but something always happens to it. Seems like if you're racing, you know, cracking, breaking, or something.
Well, one thing that you will notice if you ever get a chance, for you that have not met Greg, when you see Greg and you meet him at a racetrack, this is the most tinkering man you will ever see.
Yeah,
And I've had some conversations with him about it, and he's like, "Well, look," and I'm going to let him explain it better than I. But he's not a guy that will go out and just say, "Hey, I see a need for this particular part to be made out of built aluminum or whatever." He builds it, puts it on his own X3 or his own four-wheeler, and beats the hell out of it to find out where and when it'll break. And then when it does, then he refabs it and then he sells it. I think I was, other than your car, I think I was the first one to have the billet hubs for the Can-Am, wasn't I?
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I wanted them before that, and he wouldn't give them to me. He goes, "Nope, not done testing." So he did some changes. He got it, and they're on the car now. And I haven't had any issues. As a matter of fact, I've helped Greg sell quite a few of them. There's quite a few guys that have them on their car now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how Greg does, man. He R&D like crazy R&D, probably more than most. You know what I mean? So it's very impressive. But Greg, what are you looking forward to this year, 2026?
Far as the business or racing or what you?
Either one, business or
Oh,
racing. You got any, what you looking forward to?
well, I'm putting together another car to race, X3. You know, just working on that, trying to get it done. I don't know when it'll be done. Just depends on, you know, around here we make everything. You know, so when people say, "Well, when you gonna get something, get it done," well, depends on our workload. You know, we kind of fill in with this stuff, and you know, if we got customers needing parts or whatever, that comes first, and all this machine time, all this, you know, it started with it. Play toy stuff gets put on when we have time. So, you know, we just have to kind of work through that. But I always got newer stuff coming, or at least thinking about it, developing it. A lot of stuff that I'm testing and trying that may or may not ever see the light of day to sell. The skid steer stuff's been pretty good. Uh, the TKM stuff, they're doing fine. They're a little bit slow compared to what they used to be, but it seemed like the racing is a little bit of a downturn here lately. I don't know what this year will bring, but you know, we'll see. You know, kind of just started a war now, so who knows what's going to happen. Stock markets went down, so you know, that probably don't mean a whole lot. Hopefully they'll go back up here in a month or so and we'll be back in good shape again. But we'll just have to see. You know, take it one day at a time. Don't make no sudden moves and sudden changes. Just kind of keep going, keep digging. You know. And I got
Now you do have some dealers too, right? That sell
oh
your
yeah,
Mr. RPM cycle stuff.
oh yeah. We have dealers for Mr. RPM Cycle and Loflin Fabrication too, far as and we do a lot of private label stuff, you know, in the skid steer attachments.
Well, good.
A lot of some of the stuff you buy is just stuff we make that for other people, you know, like a lot of other companies do.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys got any questions for Greg before? Because I don't want to keep going. I know you guys got some.
Well, I
questions.
do. So I looked up the records. It does look like Casey Smith was Top Shelf Performance did end up taking both records at Newtown of last year. So I guess my question for Greg is, what do you got for these guys? We got a 402.4 at 80.25 miles an hour in the Outlaw, the A four-wheel drive Pro ATV, and then a 449.8 at 68.6 miles an hour for the naturally aspirated four-wheel drive ATV. I know you've got some stuff there between your own stuff and you know some other racers that have your products. What do you think that these four-wheel drive ATVs are really going to get down to here as these records kind of keep going?
Well, I've got my Pro Charger machine. I basically had to build a blower for it. I don't know if y'all know much about how centrifugal superchargers, where it be turbo or crank driven, but they'll stall if they're too big. They'll go into surge. Well, and an odd fire V twin is tough on a blower. It'll just explode, just rip all the gears out and all kinds of stuff to a centrifugal supercharger, the gearbox on the supercharger. So I kept increasing my blower size because you had a bigger gearbox that came with it. So I finally got a blower that would live, but it was so big it would just surge. It wouldn't make but 15 pounds of boost, turning it way faster than it's supposed to turn, which is, it's 1,000 horsepower blower on a 100 horsepower motor. So it wouldn't make any boost. It was in surge. The impeller was way too big. So nobody wants to make a custom Pro Charger or a centrifugal supercharger. Pro Charger is what I've been running. So I just I took two and made one. I took the impeller out of a real small one, and then the gearbox out of the big one. So I had the durability of the big gearbox and the small non-surging impeller and put them together, and that's working really good. It made on mine here, it made 260 to the tire, and that ain't turned all the way up, but that's a pretty good, even, dependable number that it'll live and make passes at. So I figured I'd try.
You're saying you're going to take this record under Greg Loflin.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see how it does. But you got to remember, I mean, back in, I think it was like 2012, my old Renegade ran 360s in 2012 at 700 pounds. Right now it weighs 500. I ain't never made a pass with it since then. So it should run low threes easily, still 4-wheel drive. But when we get there, I'll crank it up and then I'll race it some. It's a turbocharged. Well, it's a billet engine like's behind me, but it was made years ago. Some of the first billet engine that I made. It was old and still works good, but
you build your own billet blocks in the house, right?
Oh yeah, it's just aluminum that we machine. It's like this is a billet case, a billet mag cover, cylinders, billet heads, billet intake, billet valve covers, and on the back there's a billet PTO cover. So yeah, we make all this stuff. You have to make it. These old motors are just die cast, and they won't stand a whole lot of power. But once you put a billet case on it, it'll take a lot of power.
Well, I think I'm looking at Damian right now, and Damian's drooling. I think he wants to ride your four-wheeler.
Damian,
Okay.
you put that motor in a buggy or a dragster, maybe, but I'm good on the four-wheeler front.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do well with handlebars, Greg. We've got, he couldn't handle a mini bike.
There's
So.
video evidence of that.
Yeah. I'm not allowed on a bike anymore.
Yeah, Joey's not allowed on a bike anymore either.
I know Caleb and Isaac would definitely probably try to take a ride on one of them bad boys. I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I love the four-wheelers, but the older I get, the less, the less or the more I dread wrecking on one of them. I've wrecked it before, and it's just not good.
You can ask Isaac about that.
I mean, you wreck a side by side of a car, no problem. Just get up, turn it back over, and go.
Isaac only wrecked once. That's sissy stuff. I did it 3 times. What are you talking about?
Right? You're still here.
Yeah.
Well, Greg,
an 800-pound four-wheeler at 100 mile an hour, it probably wouldn't be good to come off.
No, I mean, mine was, I think I wrecked at 70 miles an hour at like 3/4 track on my bike. And with me and my bike together, I think we weighed 600 pounds together.
Oh,
so
these four-wheelers are 800 pounds plus a rider.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And the new ones are 1,100 pound plus a rider.
Yeah, he's doing these numbers on a utility.
So a 4.0 with like a 1,000-pound bike and rider is actually pretty quick for a quad of that weight.
Yeah,
well,
think plastic trail quad was looking, Joseph, and that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah. It's nuts. But
well, Greg, how do people get a hold of you? What's your where you what town you in and all that good stuff? Tell us your email or whatever, or not email, but website and Facebook and all that stuff. And
we're in Denton, North Carolina, right in the center of the state, about an hour north of Charlotte. You can just go to MrRPM.com, MrRPMcycle.com. You can Google to bring it right up, or of course you can look up Mr. RPM on Facebook. It's actually Mr. RPM Cycle, because there's so many RPM this, and there's a right down the road here, the Can-Am dealer next to me here's Well, south of me, the name of that place is RPM Cycle, and then there's quite a few. There's a what is it? RPM Power Sports. They make X3 parts. So I'm Mr. RPM Cycles, what I am, and that Mr. RPM just old drag racing name that I had years ago. So
Okay.
just
Would you run
carried that over.
modified eliminator?
No, we run a series called Big Dog at Piedmont local drag strip here, and then there's a few other series around that done essentially the same thing with the same rules. And we travel around, local here and race. We had one race every month at our local strip, and it worked real good. It was I had a last car I had was and of course I still got it, but it's a 2000 Haas Mustang. I had a blown alcohol small block Ford in with billet Hemi heads years ago.
Ooh.
Chet Herbert made the heads, or not Chet, Chet, Doug's daddy, years ago, and I still got it out here. It needs to be on the dirt, I guess now, but I guess it'll just sit here. It's a lot of fun, but we may crank it back up one of these days. Get time.
Wait, what are the odds? A guy with a small block Ford whooping up on Dave again. I
Oh
tell
my
you, there
God,
seems to be
here
a
we
theme
go.
here.
Here we go. Jesus, come on now.
I'm gonna have to call Greg and tell Greg the whole story on that one.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
I have a feeling Greg's gonna really enjoy it, and so will Wayne. Just his ears will perk up.
Maybe one of us needs to supervise that call so that Dave doesn't gloss over the details.
Yeah, that's probably true as well.
Well, that's racing. That's what you do, right?
Well, I know that I know we've got Mr. RPM Cycle's name on World Sand Drag News. I do believe. I believe it's underneath on the website. I think it's still there. So, yeah, definitely check him out. Greg, we appreciate you coming on. I know we got some others we got to get on, but greatly appreciate you coming on. Definitely looking forward to this season. And as always, greatly appreciate you, supporting SPDRS as well as World Sand Drag News. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Good.
Thank
It's good
you.
to be on here tonight.
No problem, man. Thanks for coming on, Greg. All right, folks. So that's going to wrap up this segment of the Paddle Talk podcast. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Paddle Talk podcast. And now we're getting into the nitty gritty. We have the East versus West team announcements. Team captains Joseph Weaver and John Sorg both in the house and ready to announce their teams for the team portion of the East meets West National Challenge. Now, question for you guys. How many people are we talking? Are we talking 6 people for each team or what? Or
Eight for each side.
8 for each side. Okay, no alternates?
We have alternates, but we're just going to announce the main 8.
All right, the main players. All right. And are these all car guys? Are we talking ATV or what's the story?
It's all cars.
All
All cars.
Yep.
Wow. So you guys are a little prejudiced too. All right, I see how it is.
Hey, it's not my fault. Caleb
They got to
didn't
run
get it.
against each other, and they don't run. We don't mix bikes and cars here on the West Coast, so
That's because you
kind of have
guys
to
are
do that.
scared
And
of
as
us.
far as I don't know if we got enough East Coast ATV guys that would be coming out to even be able to do that. So we're sticking with cars.
That's
And I
fair.
will note this is the bracket side too. We're still working on those top eliminator guys, but I think the East Coast guys are a little scared.
All right.
Maybe we need to get Zay out there. Zay Salter.
Let's do it.
Nah, he's scared too.
Yeah. All right.
No, Zay
So
Salter.
who wants to?
All right, good.
I would say, all right, we're going to give the West Coast some courtesy here. Give us your top 3, or your first 3, I should say, there, team captain Joseph.
Let's go Braden Root, Clayton Teeters, and Cam McAllister.
Cam McAllister. All right. Interesting choices. Okay. John Sorg.
Yeah. What do you
Your
want to
first
know?
3.
My first 3. I'm going to go with our local hero, John DeBoer. We're going to go with our Outlaw Series champion, Cameron Krug, out of Ohio.
Oh.
And then we're going to take Dylan Civils out of Texas.
Wow. That's pretty widespread. Three
Dylan, huh?
pack there.
Interesting.
Okay. I like it. All right.
We're the Eastern Alliance, so we're bringing it all together.
Oh, the
from
Eastern Alliance.
the
Oh,
Eastern
okay.
Alliance.
Okay. All right. Joseph, I'll give you the next three.
Let's see. Myself, obviously. Charlie Johnson and Wes Johnson.
Oh, so wait, is this like the Tachuk brothers or whatever from Team USA Hockey? Is that what we're doing here with the Johnsons?
Whatever.
All right, John, who do you got?
Well, we're gonna move up, and we're gonna go to who do I get? Three, right?
Yeah.
Brad Sibbles,
You already said
Louis
him.
Schultz out of Texas, both
There
out
you
of
go.
Texas, and then we have Brian Jones out of Michigan.
So you're doing Brad and Dylan Sibbles.
We are. We're gonna let the
Okay,
family
so there
play
you go.
there.
Wow. So
Yes,
you're not
we
even
are.
putting yourself into the lineup. You're that confident.
He has to be in the lineup. He's the team captain.
Yeah, we didn't get done yet.
Oh. He's saving.
All right.
He's saving the best for last because he's gonna whack our ass.
Fine, Danny. All right, Johnny, give us your last couple then.
All right, I got myself and Dean Dangerman, number 1 and 2 in the Pro Points Championship.
Oh, all right. All right. And Joseph, who wraps up your lineup?
Oh shit!
Oh, he's scared now. Listen to it. The Bible.
I'm not scared. Don't you worry about that. Wes, Charlie, Cam. Had a
Braden
bad case
Clayton.
of John. I forgot my team.
Oh,
So Braden
what kind
Clayton,
of captain
Clayton,
is that?
Cam, Wes, Charlie, yourself.
Which means there should be 2 more or 1 more.
2 more.
Actually,
Got this written down somewhere,
let's
Jeffy.
see.
Chris Wells, ain't it?
Yeah, I do. Hey,
Is it Chris
yeah,
Wells?
Chris Wells is one of them. Yes, Chris Wells and Tata Garcia.
Oh,
ooh.
shoot.
Ooh. The
Wait.
name just sounds really cool.
All right, hold on. Now, just so we're clear here, Chris Wells, the same guy that says nobody from the East Coast can cut a light. Is that the same guy we're talking?
Yeah, Eric Church. Yes, that's exactly who we're talking about.
I believe
Okay.
that would
All
be
right.
the one.
Okay. Just making sure we're here and hearing things correctly. So
Mhm.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they're that good, one of them guys, not Thursday night because our runs don't count, but there is $1,000 up for the first perfect light during competition at that event. So
Oh, that'll stay on the
Okay.
West Coast. That ain't going anywhere farther than Welton, Arizona.
oh yeah, I
Woo!
bet
We got a grand up for that, and just announced today we've got 2
because I'm gonna spend it there.
first and second for the best 2 packages as well.
I'm
within
taking that one
3
home,
days.
too.
So same thing. That's not going to count towards this East versus West kind of bracket challenge on Thursday. So Thursday. So it's going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday that are going to count for the best package as well. But
Taking that home,
$500
too.
to the best package and $500 to the second best package. So 2 chances to get in there, and that is going to go across all the categories too. So top eliminator down to the kiddos.
Yeah,
Right.
be sure to pay attention to that. We'll turn them into the tower. I can imagine Isaac or somebody in the tower will be in charge of just tracking to see who turns in the best slip at some point. So
You
Now,
have to turn,
with
easiest
do
place
you have
to
to
go.
turn it in, or is it gonna be like? Is
Oh
someone
yeah,
gonna
you
be
got to
paying
keep it.
attention?
You can't be making
I
shit
think you
up.
got to turn it in.
You
Absolutely.
can't be making it up.
Yeah,
I know
it's
how
not
you
on
guys
us
work
to
out
keep,
there.
It's not on us to keep track. You got to bring your slip to the tower. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you have to
Damian
bring the slip
Bowers.
to the tower. The only thing you'll say is, yeah, you're good or you're not.
Yes, that's pretty much the size of it. So, Damian Bowers, you've been
Now-
very patient.
2 things here. First, is this going to be eliminations to last team standing or?
Okay, let me explain that. Thank you, Damian. First off, what we're gonna do is a chip draw, and the very first lineup will be, you know,
8 on each
East
side,
versus
8 west, 8 east.
versus West. The way the chip draw plays out. Now, after that, that sets the ladder. After that, it's game on. So
Okay.
once we eliminate all the West Coast guys, the East Coast guys have to battle it out for the rest of the money.
Ah,
So who's going to be the first to ask to split when it happens?
Okay,
Oh, East
so
Coast guys would do that way before the
hold
West
on.
Coast guys
No,
would.
Hold on a
Carson
second.
ain't coming.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. So yes, first round is East versus West, East versus West. But I feel like keeping it East versus West, depending on how many is left on each side, it should still be East versus West in a chip draw in the next round. That way it still continues as East versus West. And
I
then
can see
I
that as being
agree.
reasonable.
Yeah, but that's not
I
what
that
we
agree.
way
agreed to.
so if we have,
That's not
just
what
for
we agreed
instance,
to. You
if
can't change the rules in the middle of it, Joey. Is that how you
it's
Why
work?
not
are
changing
you
the
This
sure,
rules,
is
if
John?
Pinks, buddy. You can negotiate anything.
Are you
I mean, you
wanting
could
a
do
car
it. You could,
length, John?
Yes. Yes.
The first import that asked for 10 car lengths, we're shutting it down. That's
Now,
it.
here's the thing, John. Whose car length?
not
Oh
mine.
yeah. We'll take mine. Well, I think the biggest thing that rolls around when you go into the second round is the fact that we don't know what we have after that. So I don't know that we take the time for a chip draw. We just decided to set a ladder, and then it's
Okay.
hard set
I
in
mean, you have
stone.
set a
There's
ladder. That's
no
fine.
cut and dry, or
Okay,
it's cut and dry.
that's fine.
Well, hey, Joey, you don't have to worry about this because I don't think there's going to be any East Coast cars left after first round.
Oh,
Yeah.
You've been to
I mean,
you've been to a
I
few of
mean,
our bracket races, Caleb. You know how we all race out here.
Yeah, but home
well,
court advantage.
I'm,
I
I'm
have to
pretty sure.
laugh. I'll go. Oh,
Eh,
when we first messaged Joey about doing this race, and I said, "Is it going to be pro light or sportsman light?" And he goes, duh, pro light." And I'm like, "What? You guys can't cut a sportsman light?"
we don't run gamblers on sport lights, with the exception of the East versus West, because you guys can't hit a pro tree to save your life.
Oof.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be hitting that like you wouldn't believe, and the sportsman light because we can double dip out here.
About to say, Cameron
Oh,
won a championship among a field of everyone cutting double O pro lights out here
Yeah.
with a staggered tree.
well, I mean, I plan on taking both of those belts home, so it's not going to be a problem.
oh man.
Oh,
Woo.
yeah, I like that. That's what I'm
This is
talking about.
this is some good confidence there.
It is.
Fantastic, man. I love it. No, this is
Both
good. This
belts,
is good.
both belts. I mean, that's 12 pounds. I mean, it's just going to make me like 330 pounds, whatever.
So,
So,
Hey,
Caleb,
Oh,
you just change your dial in a little bit. It's all good.
That's all
so
good.
how about this? Everyone here, other than Joseph and John here, who do you think's going to take the win in that 8v8?
Charlie Johnson. Sorry, Joey.
Cameron. Krug.
I got to agree with Dave.
I was actually going to go that way myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think a
I
really
got a
good
question.
chance is one of those two guys. Here's what I'll say. I'll just throw this out there. If Brian Jones can get on a heater,
Oh, God, yeah.
I know. And guess what?
that
He
Jeep
got a new
could go
box
a
heater this
long,
winter.
long ways. He proved it at Pro Truck already, cutting Pro Tree lights. He was number one qualifier and series champion, 2024? So
2021, I think.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
it's long
aged
enough.
a little now.
Well, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the last, I don't know, 2 races, Braden Root's been on a heater for quite a while,
Since last year. Shoot.
since last year. The kid hasn't, I mean, yes, he lost in the Sport Gambler on Saturday night, I think it was, but like winner 395, winner Gambler, winner Pro 2, runner, I mean, like the kid literally pulled a Joseph Weaver at the last race and lost one round the weekend. So I can tell you right now, there's 2 people on my team that want a big old fat piece of that blue piece of junk coming from back east.
There's
Oh,
multiple
yeah,
blue
bring
cars
it,
in that
fool.
list.
Round 1, 2, and 3 if you can make it that far, son.
Jeez.
Let me ask
All
you this.
right, I have a go ahead, Dave.
I'm sorry. What's the chance? Well, 2 questions. One, how much money are we talking? 2, is there call outs? Are you going to allow a call out, John and Joe? If somebody wants to call somebody out for first round, are you going to allow that?
We decided it was fairest to go with the chips down the line because, well, like there's 3 or 4 people that he said he wanted a piece of me, and I want my teammates to have a piece and take care of business too.
Okay. And money wise, is there money on the line
It's
too? Other
it's
than the
50
Yeah,
bet?
we're
it's
gonna.
$50 to enter. So that puts $800 in the pot. And I was not able to get a hold of Esteban today. I know Esteban had mentioned to me that he would possibly putting $200 in it to make it 1,000.
Oh
The
yeah.
the winner will get 650, and then the 350 that is left over will be split between the team of the winner. So if
Fair enough.
I win it, then everybody on the West Coast basically gets their entry fee back.
Yep.
Nice.
That's if it's 1,000.
Well,
Yeah.
that's if it's
Right.
1,000. If it's 800, then it's gonna be 450 and 450 and
Something like
350.
that. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
extra
So
200
essentially,
bucks.
first place gets a little bit extra pocket change there, and everybody else on the team gets
Everybody
their
else
entry
gets
fee
their
back.
entry fee
So
Yeah.
back.
Basically gets free
it's
passes.
for everyone.
And
Yeah.
you haven't talked to Esteban yet?
When I talked to him a couple weeks ago, he told me that it was possible that he would possibly do it. I tried calling him today. I know he's a busy man. They're doing a bunch of stuff at the racetrack. Um, I haven't received a phone call back, and that's okay. It's no big deal. We can square the pot away, you know,
Come on,
when it
Esteban, do
happens.
it. Put in that extra $200 for us.
From the looks of it,
Yeah,
looks like they're adding guardrails.
They
Yep.
are.
more
So I'm
guardrails.
sure he's been out there all day doing stuff with
He's
that.
busy.
And
So like I
lights.
said, me and John can talk to Esteban when John can talk to him when he gets there on Tuesday, so he can be well rested to get his ass whacked on Thursday. Uh, so
So
yeah,
I have a question for you guys. So
yeah.
obviously you guys picked, your tops and stuff on who you think is going to win from each of your teams. If you had to pick a dark horse that maybe people aren't necessarily expecting out of your team that could get on a hot streak and win the whole thing, who do you guys think from your teams could potentially fill that role?
Well,
Don't all talk now at once.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to. I'm there's a second and third, but I think if everything goes well, I have to go with Brian Jones on this one.
Okay.
I agree with what Isaac said. I think he can come out of the hot seat at any time. It's just when's his time.
I mean, I've been on the losing end of one of those hot streaks down the first time he came to last class.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a dark horse, probably Teeters. A lot of people, kind of they underestimate him, and I mean, I think last race, I think Braden said in one of his, I think he had a by one round, he cut a perfect light on a pro tree. Not that that really matters, but I feel like you look at and I'm not just blowing my own horn, but like you look at our team and it's pretty. If you pulled into the stage lanes and you saw those people left, I'm sure John could say the same thing. If you pulled up in a race and those people were left, you're not. Yeah, hopefully you're
You
not
don't have
just.
an easy round.
You don't
Yeah,
have an
no
easy
doubt.
round. Hopefully you brought enough gun and enough bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, too, I'm listening to you guys pick your teams, and this sounds like, I mean, the majority of your teams could be a final round opponent in any class, it seems, any bracket class anyway. So, I mean, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. And I tell you what, it just goes with the whole weekend, right? East meets West itself, I think, is going to be a phenomenal race and hopefully really sets the stage, one, for the rest of 2026, but two, sets the stage for the 2027 version back here in the East, so to speak. So, really looking forward to it, guys. Both did a great job, and yeah, hopefully, I think Caleb and I will have a fair amount of video when this all
Mhm.
pans out.
And
So,
I do want to remind people too that this is kicking everything off on Thursday. So everybody, they're going to get some test and tune hits, and this is really going to be pre
It's the
most of the
kickoff.
racing. It's the kickoff for it. So there's going to be chances if things go, East Coast, West Coast, however they end up. There's going to be chances for revenge throughout the weekend. We've
There
got
is.
a sportsman and pro gambler plus all the regular program with the splits between the sportsman and pro classes. and everybody's going to kind of be mixed up in there. So you might see some rematches from some of the rounds here for this East versus West bracket.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Well, it
all
looks
right.
like we already scared him away.
I think his phone died.
It's possible. So, all right. But that is going to wrap up our last preview of the East Meets West National Challenge. All right, folks, it's that time to get things wrapped up. Let's put a bow on this episode and get it wrapped up for everybody. Some news you can use from all over the place. Dave Applegate, why don't you lead us in with, I think you have multiple, but go with one for right now, and we'll come back to you before we're done.
Perfect. Let's start out with, I'm going to read something from you that I seen on Facebook today. All right. So I'm going to read it, then I'll tell you who it is. And I think this is pretty impressive. It says, happy 64th anniversary to two amazing parents. No one could ever want better parents. You are a great example of what parents, caring, and love is all about. Happy anniversary, mom and dad. You're the best. Love you. That is from Tom Hartman telling his mom and dad happy anniversary. 64 years married, and he is still racing. So congratulations to Tom Hartman Sr. and his wife.
I just
Heck yeah,
found out
that's an
today
awesome
he's
achievement.
86 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still smoking everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe you should have took him out with you out west.
I mean,
We tried. He really tried. He really wanted to go. He just had some issues. His wife's having a little bit of health issues, and he just couldn't see getting away from her. So understandable, but he really wanted to be there, and he's there in spirit. So
about to say, the last few times he went out there, he ended up on top, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Tom does
probably
very
fun
well
days.
when he goes west. So I feel like Tom Hartman Sr. is the everyman epitome of R. Lee Ermey, the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. I can 100%
Oh my gosh, he totally
him.
looks like him. Oh
I
my
know,
gosh.
right?
Whoa.
Just a lot more polite.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
his new entity.
Yeah. Someday we'll have to do some race war stories, and I have one concerning Mr. Hartman that is pretty good. So,
All right. Who's next? Damian, what do you got?
A little bit off the beaten path for us, out of the dirt into the pavement world. Pro 10-5 at the what was that? The Pro Mod World Championship or whatever they call that now?
World Series of Pro Mod.
World Series of Pro Mod this past weekend had a bit of an older name in the field, a legend in the 10-5 world himself, and son to a legend in pro stock, Billy Glidden, running an old school Ford Hemi, I believe around 500 inch, with a lot of nitrous, a clutch and a Linko still in the setup, and running right there with the big inch nitrous radial, 10-5 cars, screw blowers and whatnot, and he's out there with old school with the clutch and Eld shotgun.
Yeah, no doubt. Great to see Billy back out, and I'm gonna still say I don't think anybody works harder than the Gliddens when it comes to going racing, right? I mean, those guys are always, when Bob was still alive, they
That's
were
for
always
sure.
known as hard workers, and Billy carries on that mentality and that work ethic now. So
Totally.
absolutely. All right. Caleb Mings.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in here. Obviously, just got announced. You guys will have heard about this at several points before this episode comes out. But SoCal Sanddrags are back. We talked about how Chris Miner went and is the new head of the organization there. We're kicking everything off the end of March, 2 weeks after the East vs. West National Challenge with the Larry Miner Memorial West Coast Shootout, a return to form of Sandrags in Southern California. Something pretty cool that we haven't announced yet. Don't know if it'll be out before this episode comes out, but on Friday, they actually have the city coming out and they're going to do a ribbon cutting ceremony to kick off racing action on the Friday. So everybody's happy from the city, which is good news for sand drags and that whole motorsports park there.
Absolutely. And I've said for a long time, I've said it on here, I truly believe for sand drag racing to do well and be popular and relevant, that there needed to be a Southern California presence there. And without that, it really felt like there was something missing from the sand drag world. Great to see Chris Miner picking up that mantle and carrying it. And tell you what, from the pictures I saw today, they got the track looking really good in a pretty short period of time. So hats off to them. And man, I hope this goes well. And yeah, it should be pretty awesome. And they also are doing between Lake Elsinore and Avenal doing a 5-race California Challenge or something of that nature.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So there's going to be a point series going down between the two tracks. That is like officially happening. Details on that are still kind of being worked out and everything. So I would say just stay tuned to both of their pages as far as the breakdown on classes, the points, the prizes and stuff for that point series. All the details on it should be coming out soon.
Fantastic. I love it, man. It's great. Well, I'm going to jump out of my soapbox and say, 2026 is taken off in a huge way. We have the Snow Hill Climb already starting the season off. We've got East meets West getting rolling. We have Southern Cal sand drags, coming back and after a little hiatus and hitting the ground running again. Obviously, we'll have tracks back here closer to home in the Midwest, at least for me, coming back online here shortly and everything else. The state of sand drag racing is looking very good at this point in time. That being said, there's always work to do, folks. There's always an empty seat next to us in the bleachers. There's always room in the truck to bring somebody that hasn't been. And I'm going to continue, as I believe Dave has stated already, to push people. Bring somebody, make it your goal for 2026. Bring somebody to the track that's never been there before. Doesn't mean they're going to go every time afterwards, but get some exposure out there. You never know who that person's going to be and what could happen by bringing the right person to the track. So there is my deal.
I will put a huge exclamation point on that. 2 races ago at Dome Valley, there was a gentleman that came out there, never seen sand drags before. I don't remember if somebody had invited him or he just heard about it, came out. He went and was walking through the pits and said, man, this stuff is awesome. He immediately went out, bought a new car. And we might have talked about this guy on the last episode, but I'm going to hit the point again in case you didn't see the last episode. Bought Ernesto Juarez's old car, put that thing together, and was out racing at the last Dome Valley race. So you never know. This could be turned into somebody that's a regular spectator or even a racer. So get those people out there. You never know what huge snowball is to start.
Nice.
For sure.
Very nice.
So, all right, Dave Applegate, we'll give you the last word.
Well, actually, we've got to get to John. You want John or me next?
Dude, what am I, chopped liver?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Go
Dave,
ahead,
you did
Dave.
have
Let's
2.
go ahead, Dave.
So, All right, Johnny, go ahead.
I was going to let Dave go ahead. Why don't you go, Dave?
All right.
All right, mine's quick and easy, guys. Me and Caleb all of us want to remind you, not just at the East versus West that's coming up here, but any of the races. We have a new class, stock UTV class that we are waiting on someone to get that record. If you have any questions, you can reach out to any of us. Mainly be me and Caleb, and we can talk to you about the rules, or you can look them up on our website. But that's still open. Nobody's name's on this stock UTV class. Caleb, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just definitely check out the website, worldsandragnews.com, and go to our World WSDN records page. We got all of the requirements on there for this class, and this is a brand new split from our old stock UTV class. That old stock one is now our pro stock class, which we allowed a little bit of extra leeway on there. This new stock class, this is really set up for people that you buy it from the showroom floor, and very few modifications from that factory just purchased configuration, you go drag racing. So if you're out there, you're somebody who goes out to the trail riding, to the dunes, whatever, you got a side-by-side, you want to throw some paddles on it and take it to the track. It's first come, first serve for the record here. So you might be in the record book for just a couple minutes, but it's open right now.
Plus, it could be one of the guys that's pulling the race car up to the starting line. Keep that in mind. Jump on it. Go out. See what you got.
I've seen a lot
Yes,
of that
sir.
over the years.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's all I got. John, we are waiting on you. What'd you come
Oh,
up
what
with?
the heck? You're always waiting on me. Well, first off, Dave, I want to say thanks for dropping $200 into that Thursday night race with the East-West guys. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And I'm just excited to get ready to go out there. It's not so much news you can use. I'm just stoked. I mean, I'm leaving in 2 days, so I'll be out there by the time y'all watch this and meeting everybody. But we got some good top alcohol action coming. We just fired Bug Vinlette's car up at the last minute, so we will be on the way. And my car, we'll have Rick Ensing's car out there in top alcohol, and just everybody making the trip. It's just phenomenal to see all the people around the country coming out. So I'm just
and John,
excited.
you've got a fresh bullet in your dragster, right?
I do. I'm a little concerned, but well, we'll find out when we get there if I need to be concerned.
Oh, man. All right. I love it. So that is going to wrap up this episode of the Paddle Talk podcast. Great to have you along, folks. Remember, check out World Sand Drag News online. We got tons of pictures up from all kinds of races available for purchase. And also, maybe someday we'll also have some merch. So who knows? Stay tuned. Check out the records page as well if you want to see some really, really fast stuff and who holds the records from around the country. And hopefully next, we may have a little surprise coming as well in the Paddle Talk podcast. So stay tuned for that. From all of us here at World Sand Drag News, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.